fuck. Fuck this division, dude.
Of course, as always.
Here we are, down from our throne, sitting at number 2 now after the loss to Green Bay. Rams at number 1 after beating 49ers. Cardinals at 3, and 49ers at the bottom. Love to see 49ers at the bottom. Hate that we lost our throne.
They're the most hated team by Seahawks fans.
It sounds like they're the most hated teams by 49ers players. We'll get to that though, but should we just let's get right into it. Let's start off at the top.
Yeah, so number 1, Rams. They had the most sloppy game. Not them, but actually the whole game. It was the Rams versus 49ers. At the 49ers. It was raining, and honestly, there wasn't even a nice shot during the game of the rain coming down, how it hit the lights. Even I was just sitting there. I was like, damn, that's beautiful. But not this game. The game was sloppy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they were playing in SF too, so they had it seemed like a Rams 49ers game from 10 years ago, not when you have these offensive geniuses as head coaches, but here we are.
12-6. That was the final score with Rams. So all field goals. So if you were watching this game and this was the only game you watched for the week, man, I'm sorry you had to watch that. I watched part of it. It was just oof. Man.
I was flying in. I was flying through LA actually, and everybody was watching it, and I'm just like, how do you guys do this? It just seems so just there was nothing going on. But I mean, if it's your team, it's your team. I will say, I mean, I don't think we need to go into many details for this game because I feel like the stories around this game weren't about the game itself. It was about all the extra stuff around it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that the Rams win this week and last week against the Bills, I think that solidified them as the team that's going to make it out of the NFC West. I don't think Seahawks have a shot of coming back, and I think
we do.
Cardinals
we have a shot. We have a shot. It's called win out.
Yeah, and that winning
win
out
the next 3 games.
What are they? I mean, we
with
play the
Sam Howell, and if not Gino.
Yeah, next week we have the Vikings, so we'll address that in the preview. Be sure to tune into that video. But this week following week we have Bears and then the Rams. I mean, if we go 2-2, I mean, I'm happy if we win one of those because at least we have a winning season. But I think we need some help, and that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So you want to talk around the stories around this game at least, because I feel like that's where the headlines were.
The one thing I will say is the key to the Rams winning was the implosion of the 49ers. 1, 2, their rushing yards. They had 142 rushing yards behind Kyren Williams. So Kyren Williams still being good at the end of the day. They still had. And it's funny, right? They, this game where everyone was dropping balls and all that type of stuff, but Puka Nacua still had 7 for 97 yards and stuff like that. Although he was their best receiver because after Nacua, it's just Parkinson with 2 for 21.
Yeah. And then I think the headline for the 49ers receiver groups was Debo coming out tweeting that he said he's not struggling. He just he needs to see the ball more. And then we have a live look at him, not a live look, but we have a look at him here seeing the ball more. Oh yeah, I mean, I thought he had the ball in his hands, the way that he just kept running with it. And
are you showing it?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're showing it or not.
I might not be sharing it with you. My bad. But yeah, I'm showing it here on my side. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. What?
Oh, you're talking about the drop ball where he just kept running to. Oh yeah, that was his biggest thing, and even Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice even had something to say about it too. So in short, let's just say this. He came out and said, I just need more touches. That's all he's saying. It's I need more touches, whether it's the running back or wide receiver touches. Give me more touches. He got more touches in this game, and he was dropping balls, and he was just not being very productive. And I know he was frustrated after that because you spoke about it.
I'm just going to scroll through memes while you're making your very valid intellectual points.
You can't say, my thing is you just can't say man, I just want to, just give me more touches. You came out, you whiffed on it. And I don't know what else to. That's my favorite one of all time with Drewski on it, man. Because and I was really thinking about, I was like, man, Debo has, I wouldn't say you could say he's fallen off, whatever you want to, whatever you want to call it. Stop.
With the BBL.
Someone might be looking elsewhere.
Oh, shit. What are you doing?
Yep, that's pretty much Debo. But at the end of the day, I don't know where this is going to go with Debo. He's been having fights with teammates throughout the season and stuff like that. We'll see what happens with him. It's right there exactly from the Tampa game.
Perfectly timed.
I don't know what else, man. I don't. He had what is his stats for this game? So Debo Samuel had 7 targets for 3 receptions and 16 yards, and he also had 2 rushing attempts for 3 yards.
Love it.
His longest was 2 yards.
Damn.
And this tweet pretty much says it all. Not struggling at all, just not getting the ball. He leads the teams in drops. He's struggling. I love it, man. Like, and that's funny that like you had that put on your own tweet. But yeah, Debo's just not the same. And that's one thing you have to also look at with the 49ers. One, their team is in shambles from all the injuries, but they don't use Debo like they used to. Because Debo was the wide receiver on the side that then will just go in motion and you would hand him the ball and he'll run like a running back. But they started just putting him in at running back in this game. And I really thought I think it's because he says, hey, let me run the ball more.
Yeah, and then Jerry Rice had some words on it too. I don't know what is going on for me, but I would have been pissed at myself and at the whole scenario. After you complain about not getting touches, you cannot drop the football. I never said anything about touches. I just kept working.
Facts. Just hush and just, don't even get on Twitter and stuff like that. I let people talk because what does the most all the talkings when you're on the field?
I love this one so much. Dan Skipper.
What people see, but I'm proud for Dan Skipper in this one rather than say like you're bringing down Debo with that tweet. Raise up Dan Skipper.
And then here's another look at Debo getting the ball more. I mean, that just makes it even more.
Just another angle of that drop. That's the big drop right there. And that's why he ran straight to the sideline. But at the end of the day, you can't have a game like that. But we'll see what happens with him after this. It's not going to be a...
Oh, this is from 2023, though.
Yeah. It's not going to be a... Oh, he's the new. Oh, dang, that's terrible.
Oh man.
But yeah, he may not be on the team anymore after like all the stuff that he said, with this season. So either way, you had a big whiff. You came out in the lights. Everyone's watching this game, mind you.
Yeah.
And boom, nothing. So at the end of the day,
speaking of not being on the team anymore, we almost forgot. We got to talk about
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker on the defense.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're a 49er. You're not quitting on your team. You're quitting around on the guys that are playing next to you. You're cooked. Ain't nobody want to play with you. It's not a team doesn't want to sign you. I don't think anybody wants to play with you after you do that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I think what happened was in the third quarter, he refused. Actually, he was called up to play because he wasn't starting. He lost his starting job prior. The context there is
Dre Greenlaw was out injured. Devondre Campbell was brought in to supplement that unit. Dre Greenlaw got back. He was relegated to a bench position or a supporting role. Obviously,
he didn't like that.
He did not like that.
And he said third quarter, he said, no, I'm not going to play. And I was just like, well, what are you going to do? Because if you're not going to be available, you will get, and what just happened after the game, they basically ended his season for him, meaning he's not getting, I think if you get suspended, you don't get paid for those 3 games. So he basically just lost money.
Detrimental to team conduct, right?
Facts. He didn't want to play anymore. So, I mean, that's a worse implosion than us when we faced the Bills. At least with the Bills, we were arguing with each other. At least we were fighting. It's not like we just quit on each other. That's the one thing we don't do. So at the end of the day, the 49ers, this was like their worst game of the whole season, as you can see. I mean, they only put 2 field goals. Don't know what else to say on that one. So, and that ended up with them losing. They're in the bottom of the barrel for the season. At least we ain't going to be there. That's for you 49ers fans. Mwah. Otherwise, that was a very a swarmy game to watch, I will say. I didn't even watch the full thing. I watched a good chunk. I did see like the drop pass by Debo and stuff, but otherwise, yeah, it was nice. But except for it wasn't nice for the 49ers to lose. We needed them to win, but here we are.
Really quick before we keep moving on, Rams, do you know who Rams have next?
Rams, I thought they had did not see who they had.
I think they
next.
have the Jets.
Yeah, Jets on the 22nd.
Yep.
And honestly, with how that's going, that could be a win for them. They're playing for something now. So
yeah,
if not like they weren't before. But yeah, they have the Jets, and then they have Jets and who else? Oh, here it is. I got it. So they have the Jets, the Cardinals, and then us.
Yeah, and so. That's why that was where I was coming from, where, it looks like they're pretty much in the driver's seat and not just like when we're sitting in the very back of the bus kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I expect a win out of the Jets. And then who do 49ers have next week, just to keep it consistent here?
Well, just to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair to the 49ers. They got
Miami. They're at Miami.
At Miami, then
Detroit.
They take Detroit at home, and then they're at Cardinals for their last game.
Detroit at home will be interesting with David Montgomery being injured, but they still got a fella named Jahmyr Gibbs.
Also, they lost their defensive tackle and someone else.
Dude,
they lost another
up,
starter.
Man.
Yeah, they lost another starter on the defense, and
Detroit was.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things with Detroit, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I think the 49ers can take it Miami, but I'll say that one's really 50-50, but they're not really in the driver's seat of the NFC West anymore.
Yeah, at best they'll go with 7 wins on the season. They lose. They're definitely gonna lose against Detroit. Arizona, I'll leave it 50-50, so they can either be 8-8 or no 9-8. 8-8.
8-9 or 9-8.
Most. 8-9, excuse me. 8-9.
Or 9-8, something like that. But anyways.
8-9. Math ain't mathing over here, but at least we ain't on the bottom. So obviously Seahawks, we already talked about our previous game. You can go and catch that video. Otherwise, for our Seahawks, in terms of just the only thing that's just to say is on what are we going to do? To get up to
what do we
number 1. What do we do? We have to literally win out. But right now, Gino is he's injured, but they're saying he can still practice and stuff. So we'll see on that one, because Sam Howell we didn't talk about it in the video, but Sam Howell, there wasn't much to talk about with Sam Howell.
I mean, he was thrown into a situation, but he had all the tools to be like the hero with all the amount of chances that he had, and he just couldn't capitalize.
This is true.
And we, earlier in the season, we were talking about, man, if the season is going to keep going this way, where it was just like this, and then it went like immediately downhill. And then we started getting up again. But like when we were at the lowest of the lows, I was like, just fucking throw Sam Howell out there and see what happens. And after
might as well.
I mean, after saying that last night, I'm just like,
ooh, maybe not. This is why they did throw Sam Howell out there. But in terms of the rest of the season, we can try to fight for a wild card spot, but we have to get enough wins. We got to win out though. Two out of our next 3 games, we got to win. Or of our last 3 games, we have to win and then we got to get help.
Yeah. And
now to the Cardinals.
Not much to talk about in this game, is there? The
final score was
they faced the Patriots. Final score was 30-17. It was never within 2 scores, I think, after the first quarter. And so some outstanding performances. James
Conner. He couldn't run on us though, thank God. Yeah. But he can run on any other team.
He still got some PTSD from Ernest Jones rocking him.
No, facts. He had 110 yards off of 16 attempts and 2 touchdowns. That's really nice. They had a good game. I saw some of the highlights, but yeah, Kyler Murray, he had 224 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I think that's okay when the rest of your team is just taking care of the scoring for you. But yeah, the Cardinals, they're still at the very least, they're still building their identity. We at least know it's the run game for them. That's one thing to be very careful of in the future, because they definitely drafted for that. So otherwise, that's the state of the league. I'm not sure. Now, I feel like Cardinals have a very slim chance, because they're swept by us. But if they win out the rest of their season, they can probably come for a wild card. If not, I don't know if they can come for the top. They're going to need a wild card for sure.
They're going to need some help for sure, because they play Carolina, Rams, and 49ers for the last 3 games. And so if they win against the Rams, that also has a double effect, right? Because they're competing for that top spot in the NFC West. Carolina, they should beat 49ers. By then, I think they're just they're going to be kind of seeing their way out. So Cardinals do have something to play for. Maybe this week will tell a little bit more if they, depending on the results. But yes, NFC West is pretty much going to come down to the wire, I think.
At the end of at the last game of the season, I'm telling you, I told you, man.
You read the script before I did. That was the problem.
Oh yeah, the NFL let me get the script very early on, but otherwise, this is the state of the NFC West for us. Or for the Seahawks, and right now it's a very tight race. Yeah, you got anything else on this one, man?
Nope. Take us home.
All right. Well, hey everyone. Thank you if you're still here watching. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment anything down below. Any questions you got or anything like that. Who do you think is going to win the NFC West at the final? At the last second. Let us know. Hopefully it's us. I mean, but otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.